While millions of people are glued to their screens, shouting, celebrating, or feeling crushed because a team lost, there's a large group of people who feel nothing. No excitement, no tension, no emotional investment. And according to psychology, this difference isn't superficial. It starts in how the brain assigns meaning. If you've never understood why a game can ruin someone's mood for an entire day, this will probably feel familiar. Let's clear something up first. Not caring about sports doesn't make you empty, detached, or uninteresting. It doesn't mean you lack passion, and it definitely doesn't mean something is missing in you. It just means your brain is responding to a different set of psychological rewards. To understand why sports matter so much to some people, we need to look at how humans evolved. For most of history, belonging to a group wasn't optional. Your group protected you, fed you, kept you alive. That wiring never disappeared. Sports teams activate that same ancient system. When fans watch their team, their brains release oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the same chemical involved in trust and connection. Their nervous system treats the team as us. People who don't connect with sports tend to experience that group instinct less strongly. Their identity isn't built around shared symbols or collective wins. They don't need to merge with a group to feel complete. Research supports this. People with low interest in sports show less us versus them thinking. They're less likely to emotionally react to rivalry or opposition. Their sense of self is more internally anchored. There's also the reward system to consider. For many sports fans, games trigger repeated dopamine spikes, anticipation, uncertainty, hope. Every play offers a chance for reward. Psychologically, this is called intermittent reinforcement, and it's one of the most powerful drivers of repeated behavior. The same mechanism shows up in gambling. Unpredictability keeps the brain engaged. For people who don't care about sports, that loop simply doesn't activate. Their dopamine system isn't stimulated by indirect competition or vicarious outcomes. Some evidence even suggests this sensitivity varies biologically. Differences in dopamine receptors may influence how rewarding competition feels when you're only watching. In other words, indifference to sports may not be a choice. It may be temperament. There's another psychological difference that often goes unnoticed. Sports fans frequently engage in what's called basking in reflected glory. When the team wins, they say, "We won." When it loses, the distance returns. People who don't follow sports tend to avoid this pattern altogether. Their self-worth isn't linked to outcomes they can't influence. Their identity stays more stable, regardless of external wins or losses. This doesn't mean they care less. It means they care differently. Everyone has a limited emotional budget. Some people spend it on teams and seasons. Others invest it in relationships, ideas, creativity, or causes that feel more personally connected. Studies show that people with low interest in sports often score higher in openness, curiosity, and appreciation for art and beauty. They're still seeking meaning, excitement, and emotional engagement. They're just finding it elsewhere. For some, indifference to sports also has a history, past exclusion, negative experiences, discomfort with aggressive competition, and sometimes there's no story at all. Sometimes it's simply boredom. Both are valid. At the core of this divide is how people experience meaning. Sports offer narrative, rivalries, comebacks, uncertainty. For some minds, that unpredictability feels alive, and for others, it feels irrelevant. People who don't care about sports often prefer engagement where their presence matters, where effort leads to outcome, where participation isn't passive. And psychologists describe this as a preference for direct engagement over parasocial investment. Neither approach is better. They're just different strategies for navigating the same human needs. Flow, connection, purpose, they can come from countless sources. For some, it's a championship game. For others, it's creating, learning, building, or deep thinking. Many non-sports people report feeling more present in their own lives. They're not watching someone else's struggle. They're immersed in their own. So if someone asks whether you watched the game and you genuinely didn't care, that doesn't make you strange. It makes you different. Your brain is wired to seek meaning, reward, and connection in another direction. And that's not a flaw, it's a pattern. If this felt accurate, there's more psychology behind how quiet minds process the world differently. When you're ready, the next video will help you understand that difference even more clearly.